Go.
Hello, and welcome back to another edition of the 614. To my right, he's named after the lamest month of the year, but he's the coolest dude I know. August King! On my left, he's from Rhode Island, but he enjoys the New York Jets. It is a character flaw, but we love him anyway. Matt Goudreau!
Okay, Jets fans unite.
Friends.
I'm Mike Abelson, and we have Alex McDevitt. But now Matt Goudreau to kick it off.
So you should kick this off, because this was your suggestion.
Yeah, I got to make fun of Alex McDevitt, so I was happy. Yeah, so that Quentin Tarantino fella makes good movies.
Yeah.
Kinda, sorta. And the podcast is over.
They've had a few in his career.
Yeah. He's kind of like 7 for 8, pretty much. And the one he kind of bombed on really wasn't his movie anyway. It was kind of his movie. Yeah, so Quentin Tarantino, I'm a Bad Boy, not seen True Romance or Jackie Brown. But I did catch up on my Tarantino verse quite a bit over break.
You're missing out on 4 rooms, though.
You know what? I have enough of Tim Roth getting shot. I don't even see him in a fucking hotel. So my thing is, I'm just gonna get right to the argument first. I'm gonna unite with Alex McDevitt in calling Kill Bill his masterwork.
Let's start at the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a teaser movie. That's what we call it.
I like a timeline, folks.
Yeah. Well, in 1991, you have
2.
It was 92? That was 91.
No, it was 92.
Oh, well, either way.
I was born.
It was basically shot.
No fucking way.
What now?
What? This movie came out on my fucking birthday when I was born. Yes!
I got Jurassic Park, so hot.
I love how you just...
I was born on a Sunday!
I was born Reservoir Dog Day. Yes! That's common.
So I will now call you Mr. Orange.
Yes, please, can you?
No, Mr. Pink.
How about I love first off, I love Mr. Pink. What can't I be called Mr. Purple or Mr. You're Mr. Pink!
What? Because you're fucking fat.
Yeah, just show pick your color. Yeah, that's easy for you to say. You're Mr. White. You got something cool.
You got a cool son.
Yeah, but it's pretty girls on the television. I was saying something. Okay, I'll close my eyes and say something. I really like this movie. It was interesting. I'll look over here. The knockouts, they're so cute. Ooh, Valentine's Day sale, 40% off. People are gonna be listening to this saying, "What the fuck is he talking about right now?"
Anyway.
Yeah, we take a break for that. We pause for that. So it's I just love how small it is, because when you think of Tarantino, you think these big multi-location, you know, movies that go Act 2, Act 3, Act 1 is how his movies wind up always going, and this is straight linear. Although you do have the minor flashbacks to the incident, but it's pretty much in one place. It's pretty much the warehouse, with the exception you have the only major sequences away from it are the diner scene and the Tim Roth sequence. But for the most part, a good 2/3 of the movie are in the warehouse. And I really like movies like that because it really makes a director work. It makes the actors work too, because you don't have an out. It's not like, oh, it doesn't work here. We'll just, like, you look at, trying to put Django out, sorry, but you look at Django, oh, it doesn't work here. Let's just go across the planet and we'll go work there. Here, no, you're stuck in one room. And sadly, sometimes you're stuck with Mr. Blonde, which is not a good thing for anybody. God.
If he hadn't done what I had told him not to do, he'd still be alive.
Yeah. It's just like, and the other thing is that you never see the diamond ice.
Yeah.
You never see, because it's like, because I just see Mr. Blonde just literally standing there with the gun. Bang. Bang.
Yeah.
Bang. Dead.
That's it.
Yeah, and God, is he just, I think that, I mean, there's a lot of twisted scenes in Tarantino movies. But that one with Blonde and the cop might top it all.
The ear?
Yeah. Oh no, it's not that. It's,
honestly, I think one of the scenes in the beginning when Tim Roth is in the back bleeding to death.
Oh yeah.
And he's just
I'm gonna
screaming.
fucking die.
And you're just like, holy shit, what the hell happened?
I think Quentin just went crazy with a ketchup bottle.
Yeah.
No, for me, it's the fact that Michael Madsen just plays this character.
Oh, he's awesome.
But, you know, it's not so much the ear. It's the sequence after he's done with the ear. He does that thing, you know, hello, and then all in one take, he walks out of the warehouse, to the car, gets the gas, Comes back and that song is still on. I forget what the song. I forget what the song.
Stuck
is.
in the middle with you.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Mike, if you notice in the background, there's like I think there's children playing in the background. Like,
Yeah.
across the street. I love that.
And the music thins out when he walks outside
Yeah,
or when he walks back into the warehouse.
Perfect. It's such a.
This is, aside from Pulp Fiction, this is my favorite Tarantino movie. I think
Second best, yep.
the reason why is because I think the small,
This is probably number 4 for me.
the way it's shot, the small story. There's not a weak actor in it. I like everything in it. And this is one of the 2 movies where the pulp culture references don't bother me because they work with the story.
Well, except for the Madonna part, but
That's
that's
still
at the very beginning. too.
I love the Buscemi sequence about
tipping.
yeah, I love that.
That was one of the best. I think it was one of the best dialogue scenes ever written. I love that scene so much.
You know what it says?
I think
World's
the
smallest violin playing
Like just for the waitresses.
no, his best dialogue sequence. English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
That's a little later, but
Also, a nice little detail that I've noticed after many, many viewings is after everybody shoots each other at the end, and somehow
Eddie
Eddie
gets
gets
shot.
shot.
Yeah, that's what I'm about. How does Eddie get shot?
There's T-shirts called "Who Shot Nice Guy Eddie?"
Well,
It has
I
a
don't,
picture.
well, I don't know. It doesn't.
Does Tim Roth doesn't shoot it though?
No, it
Keitel
doesn't.
gets 2 shots off.
Well, yeah. Well, no, what happens is it looks like Keitel was supposed to, like, it was like I guess the way it's angled. If you look closely, you can kind of see Keitel turn his gun, but it's like not that well choreographed.
If
the
I
way
go
it's
right,
done.
Keitel's pointing it at Lawrence Tierney, who's
Yeah.
pointing it at Tim Roth.
No, he's pointing at Lawrence Tierney, and then he shoots. Everybody shoots, and then as he's falling, he kind of turns his gun a little bit, but it's not that precisely like choreographed. But you can see him pull off another shot when he like slightly turns. His
Yeah,
gun.
it's not like he just gets 1 bullet off and Chris Penn just falls back.
But after that,
Damn it! Stop pointing that gun at my dad!
Mr. Pink just slinks off, and then in the background
You hear gunshots.
Turn the volume up, and he gets arrested by the police outside.
And like,
Actually, he gets shot, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Sean Penn's brother, by the way. Rest in peace.
Uh,
I'm gonna say my favorite person.
former co-star of Corky Romano.
I'm gonna say my favorite person in the movie is.
Why did you bring up Corky Romano?
Because it's Pisson, it's French.
movie sucks.
I love that movie. I love Corky.
Out of all the movies we like just randomly insert into here,
I mean,
this
when
may be the most
when he was in
random.
what? Shortcuts. He was
You
in.
go from fucking Reservoir Dogs to Corky Romano.
Stop pointing that gun at my dad!
Now you just sound like Adam Sandler saying line.
I sounded like Adam Sandler impersonating Chris Penn.
Just to close up on Dogs, I have no issues with the movie.
No.
Not one weak link. I think Tim Roth is probably the best person in it. Keitel's a close second.
Buscemi's probably third.
And it's nice to see Keitel kind of got this resurgence for a little bit, but then he never got up to the level that he probably should have.
Well, it's like my thing with Tim Roth, who I love in this movie. My father thought that the diner in Reservoir Dogs is the same as Pulp Fiction. No, Dad, it's not the Hawthorne. It's not the same one.
Yeah, no, it's not.
But he has this line when 2 guys are in the car downstairs and they call him ready to go, and he takes a minute and pauses and looks in the mirror, and he says, "It's like it was like a kid, and he sounds like this little kid. They nothing wrong. They think you're super cool." There's a reason that it's hit me. I'm just like, only a Tarantino movie could, looking back now, could get away with that line.
Yeah.
Like, it's this very childish line said in an incredibly intense situation.
He convinced me to give my $1 back.
Yeah, and
What do you mean you don't tip? I don't tip. You don't get a tip. All right, I'll tip, but I won't normally do this.
It's-
I don't give a fuck what you normally
I think
do.
Lawrence Tierney steals the movie
Oh,
for most
he's
of the
great.
people.
you're Mr.
He
Pink.
just talks like this the whole time, and I can only think of him as Elaine's dad from Seinfeld. He's in the
Here are your
bathroom.
names. Mr. White, Mr. Brown, Mr. Blonde, Mr. Blue, Mr.
Blonde
Orange,
isn't even a color.
and Mr. Pink.
Why am I gotta be Mr. Pink? Because you're a faggot.
Why can't we pick our own colors? Doesn't work like that. You get 4 guys all fighting over who's gonna be Mr. Black. Be grateful you're not Mr. Yellow. Yeah, but Mr. Brown not too close to Mr. Shit.
That's like his only line outside. That's outside of the diner.
Yeah.
No, when he got shot in the car. He's trying to start it.
No, but he doesn't say anything. He just tries to start the car.
Yeah, exactly.
And Mr. Blue gets one line of dialogue.
He says, he says the whole thing about the
Take you in the back, suck your dick.
Yeah, Pink's talking with the waitresses, and then, he says the whole thing about sucking dick.
But, so Dogs is my second favorite.
Me too.
Probably in the middle with me. I love some movies better, but
Like
I still love
you with Alex.
What number do you have it?
4.
4.
Let's move on to
Or
probably
5, actually.
his most famous movie.
The path of the righteous man
The ultimate
is beset on all sides with iniquity of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men.
This is a tasty burger.
More like
Blessed is he who shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
my fingers upon me.
How's my vengeance?
No, fingers. I think it's his finger.
I mean,
Either way, it's an okay movie.
Yeah.
Okay movie.
Pulp Fiction is probably one of the most important films of the 90s.
The path to the righteous.
It has like an 11,000 word Wikipedia entry. Who fills out an 11,000 word Wikipedia entry?
It's a path to a righteous career, is more likely.
Especially
The path to a
for a
revitalized career.
guy who made only one film. This is a pretty sophisticated movie. He's got what 4 or 5 different stories going on.
The movie cost $8 million to make.
And only about
$5 million went to the
and
actor.
only about like 200 actors in the movie too, pretty much.
Well, it's not that. It took me like 8 times seeing it to realize that Kathy Griffin's in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
so-
right.
Yeah.
So
so-
much shit.
Is that she has like one line,
Yeah, exactly.
and that's it.
No, yeah, and when Marcellus pulls the gun out, she's like, "Oh shit," and like runs away.
Yeah, it took me like 9 or 10 times seeing the movie.
Took me,
That's
a couple,
Kathy Griffin.
took me a couple times to realize Steve Buscemi was the waiter.
Yeah, me too.
That's irony. It's
want
like,
that?
do you notice how Tim Roth's character's name is Pumpkin? Pumpkin's are orange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Honey bunny.
This is a robbery.
I mean, there's so much you could say about this movie. A lot of it's already been said.
Yeah, I think.
We'll wind up saying it again.
Why don't we just talk about our best scene in the movie?
Well, I guess the
I had this metal piece of
Oh.
Hey, this is a couple piece of metal in my ass for 2 years.
You know,
That's it.
you know,
Every time I see
It comes out of left field.
every time I see the movie, I forget that Walken is in it.
And he's never seen from again after that one
Yeah, I
scene.
know.
yeah, I guess yeah.
It's honest. It's one of my favorite scenes.
I
It's
guess-
like,
I guess-
the way I see it is that your watch was your birthright. You'd be damned if anybody was going to get their fingers on this.
I mean, damn if they let the fucking gooks get their hands on it.
That and the righteous path scene. Yeah. The funny thing, there's the Tarantino universe of characters related to each other
Yeah,
in his movies.
the Tarantino verse.
There's a Pulp Fiction Django relation.
And a dog's fiction relation.
Well, the
Wait a minute, isn't Steven like Jules' great grandfather or something?
no, I don't. No.
Like, is it black?
Samuel
Yeah,
Jackson.
I'd be saying
Samuel Jackson.
No. The Christopher Walken's character, Pulp Fiction, last name Coons. Django Unchained. They're hunting Crazy Craig Coons.
Oh.
Yeah.
Tell me, who was Coons in Pulp Fiction? You said
Walken.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because you said Waltz's character, and I'm like, Waltz?
No, I said Walken's character.
Oh, okay, never
My
mind.
favorite scene in Pulp Fiction is the, man, I just shot Marvin in the
Face.
That is the funniest part.
Apparently, that was
I
written.
think so. Came down from God.
It was like that was supposed to be like a really serious scene, and Phil Lamar said, "This ain't gonna work if you do it seriously. Like, just shoot." He said, "Shoot me in the face." Not something that's generally said ever. I am not the biggest fan of the Bruce Willis sequence.
What?
I'm not. I've always been.
That's like one of the best parts.
Oh no! I know. I like it, but I've always loved. I love the Bonnie situation, both the beginning of the movie and the end.
Yeah.
This is the same fucking thing. But I love the Bonnie situation more than I like the Pandemonium Brain sequence.
The Bruce Willis sequence, though, gives the movie some, like, actual, like, emotional resonance, where, apart from just, like, cool gangsters.
Oh yeah. Oh no! Absolutely. Like I said, I like it, but you know, I like the cool gangsters. I like the real swaggery in the sweat that you get from that storyline, even when they're in the Banana Slugs T-shirt. Look at like a couple of dorks.
I must the
Hey, you're close,
Okay,
motherfuckers.
Another great scene with the Bruce Willis character is the scene where he tries to find the right weapon to go back.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
just like, yeah, samurai sword.
Yeah. Well, that's Tarantino's love of samurai movies.
Yeah,
right
exactly.
What was I gonna say? Oh no, this. Where'd you get the motorcycle? It's not a motorcycle, honey. It's a chopper. Whose chopper is this? Zed. Who's Zed? Zed's dead,
there.
baby.
Zed's dead. That's the end of the movie.
No, it's not.
I think if you go chronologically, that's the end of the
yeah.
movie.
Okay. Yeah,
But I love going to the one part. I like it when the sequences cross over. When he goes back to his apartment and he puts the Pop-Tarts in and he just looks and he just sees the automatic rifle there.
Now, that's actually the part I still kind of get confused. Is that the part after after they go?
Are you
After
talking
Samuel
chronologically?
Jackson and John
Yeah,
Travolta, they
that's
leave
after
the diner.
Yes. Yeah, because he died. Because Travolta died.
No. But so after that, Travolta's character
are you
goes
going
to his house and then tries to kill him.
Yeah, are you going chronologically right now?
Yeah, more so.
Yeah, because the whole thing I think is over 3 days. On the first night is Marcellus Wallace's wife.
Yeah.
That's that. Because then they have the fight, and Willis kills a guy because there's a line in their locker room when Uma Thurman says, "I never got a chance to thank you about last night." So now you're on the second day. Since it's night, flips over to day. So he gets stuck then because the whole Bruce Willis sequence happens in the morning. That's the third day. So then it's concurrent. Then you have, Sam Jackson and Bruce Willis Sam Jackson and Travolta going out to get breakfast, and the whole honey bunny pumpkin thing. While Travolta's like, "Why didn't I take this watch that means so much to me? Why did I, put it in, the hands of my idiot fucking girlfriend?" And then they dovetail right there the next day. So I think the whole movie's over 3 days.
Okay. That's
Which I literally just did the math in my head.
That's
right now.
pretty fun as part, actually.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Tell that bitch to be cool.
Tell that bitch to chill!
I said, bitch, be cool.
Oh, I think, what the hell was that?
You're not gonna pull this shit without having a transaction.
Also has
period.
one of the best, what the fuck is in the box situations ever. Like,
Oh,
what
the
is
what's
in
in
that
the box?
suitcase? Like, it's just like, it's glowing. It's just like, what's in it?
Well,
My favorite...
Cue Tarantino a reference to another movie.
Yeah.
I think the best part, the best role, it also gets the best line. You got a corpse in a car with no head in the garage. Take me to him. Please, call me Winston.
I fix problems.
Yeah. That's a 30... Oh, you know what? It has one of the best subtitles in any movie ever. That's a 30-minute drive. I'll be there in 10. 9 minutes, 36 seconds later.
No, what was it? Marcellus, it was like, we got a problem in the car here. We can't just chill right here now. Don't worry, I'm sending the wolf. The wolf?
Man, motherfucker, that's all you had to say.
Oh, shit. That's all
you had to say.
I mean, as great as Pulp Fiction is, I do have to say the scene with Tarantino, I hate.
I love Jimmy.
I hate that
I don't
scene.
hate it, but it is the weakest scene. Even with
I
the wolf
love
in there.
Jimmy. But he's got that great sequence I was talking with Augie before we went on. Winston. Mr. Wolf, please, call me Winston. Winston, these are our best friends. They're giving us my Uncle Connor and Aunt Ginny, and they're no longer with us. Jimmy. Mind if I smell? But sure. Jimmy, was your Uncle Connor and Aunt Ginny? Ginny, were they millionaires? No. Well, your Uncle Marcellus is. And I'm sure he'd be happy to furnish you with an entire new bedroom set. So it's leafing off the money. Jimmy, what do you say? Do you like oak? Oak's nice.
So Pulp Fiction is my favorite Tarantino movie.
Me too.
You got a bunch of cleaners and cleansers into the sink. I
Is
love that.
that a yes from him?
Okay.
Yeah, there's no reason.
And it's, I'm assuming your second favorite.
I'm sorry, Kill Bill is something else. So
Well, okay, hold on, let's not jump in.
We got one.
Yeah.
We got one more in between.
yeah, the one I haven't seen. I'm a
Yeah.
bad. I'm a,
Let's let Augie.
Jack-
Augie can take this one because
Yeah.
Jack.
Okay.
This kid loves it.
Okay, just alright. I do love it. It is my third favorite of his. But it's just it's such a great job of taking the stuff we love about Tarantino, the fast and funny dialogue, the memorable characters, but it really tells a story it's his first linear story, first of all. And it's his first story that has like some like emotional resonance to it. You actually like feel attached to the characters because
They kill Chris Tucker.
why did I not watch this movie?
And I
real
wish
quick?
that scene was a documentary.
that was the point where I was like, that was the point where Odell, why are we out here? Odell.
I'm gonna wind up watching this like in the next week.
No, yeah.
Don't worry.
No, if that part if that part doesn't get you love in the movie, all the scenes with Robert De Niro and Bridget Fonda
Oh
are
my
absolutely
god.
hysterical because he has to watch, because Robert De Niro has to watch over Bridget Fonda, who's Samuel Jackson's like girlfriend, and she's just like the most airheaded, dumb, like hippie, like surfer girl around, and she's just so ditzy, and she never stops talking. And Robert De Niro it's like one of his most subtle performances because he's not yelling, he's just going through the whole movie with this like disgruntled look, but he gets like the biggest laughs in the whole movie sometimes, especially when they're together.
The whole movie sometimes.
Alright.
I think for the sake of Mike not having seen it, I'm not going to talk too much about it. It's in the upper part. It's not quite the top. It's my fourth favorite.
There's only like 7 or 8 to choose from.
It's number 5 for me.
I think it's really good, but this was at the point where the pop culture stuff was really starting to get to me.
But that's the thing, there isn't actually that much pop culture stuff.
I know, but whenever it was, I was like, okay, that was not.
But that's the thing, he put a damper on the more flashy things that he does. Like, he put more of a damper on the pop culture stuff. There is some violence, but it's not nearly as bloody as Pulp Fiction or his later movies.
Django.
To say the least. Or Kill Bill, yeah.
Michael Keaton's in this, right?
Yes, he is. And actually, cool thing, because this was actually not a Tarantino original movie. It was based on a book by Elmore Leonard, who also wrote the book for Out of Sight. And Michael Keaton's character is the same character in this as it is in Out of Sight, also. So technically, I guess you can say Out of Sight is in the Tarantino universe if you want to say that.
So, Alex, thoughts on Jackie Brown?
I would say it's like the way I describe Jackie Brown is like it's a quiet version of Pulp Fiction where you basically, like Augie said, you have basically all the materials, like the same ingredients as Pulp Fiction in Dogs, but it's not as loud and flashy.
Violent.
It's more subdued and mature.
But it definitely tells a great story. Pam Grier is she's amazing in this movie. She's so good. Samuel Jackson's hilarious. I will agree with you 100%. The best scenes I think were between Fonda and.
And actually, might be my favorite line in the movie is Tiny Lister at the end.
Oh!
What's your job? I find people. Where'd you get him? I found him.
But, see, I'm sorry we're kind of going through this quick because these are the ones that everyone likes.
Mm-hmm.
Now it gets interesting. Mike, why don't you take? We'll do Kill Bill as one film.
Yeah, because you really have to. It wasn't meant to be made in the
Yeah, it was supposed to be a four-hour epic.
I saw the 4-hour cut.
Like how? The 4-hour cut isn't released.
One Channel is a fantastic
No,
place.
Tarantino keeps saying he's going to put it out, but he hasn't actually put it out though.
Well, in that case, I just saw someone who just edited together 1 and 2, and it was quite convenient.
Alright.
There is no character in the Tarantino verse who is more driven and has more of a reason to exist than
The Bride.
Than Beatrix.
Yes.
Beatrix Kiddo. And I mean, this is a woman who will literally do the worst things possible.
Scour the earth. Scorch and
She
fire.
will kill a mother in front of her daughter.
Your name's Buck, right? You came to fuck, right? I love that scene so much.
And that, it's just, there's no way to just describe it. It's just, I think it's perfection. I think it is his perfection. I know Mr. Goudreau sitting to my left will severely disagree with me.
I'm
not
going to severely disagree, but why don't you keep going?
Yeah, me too.
I mean, and also it's just the scale of the film itself, just how evil everyone is, how truly despicable. And Tarantino's a guy that makes movies about bad people. Even
horrible people.
Even the people that we like Jules and Vincent are bad people, but we love them.
Yeah. Django and Schultz are bad people.
Schultz is those two guys
I
are
don't know.
kind of odd.
Those are heroes right there. Those
Yeah.
are not bad.
You know,
Calvin Candy's certainly not a good guy.
Calvin Candy is not a
Well,
good guy. We'll get to him later.
Well, I will say this, Mike. Kill Bill is actually my second favorite of the entire Tarantino thing.
Mhm.
Looking back over it now, I wouldn't call it perfect, but I will say this. I think in terms of, well, I mean, you can kind of say because the 4 hour, when you have the whole thing together, it has, I think, the most developed characters, obviously.
Yeah.
You have all these characters who are so developed and just so well written in together. I mean, Lucy Liu's character, holy shit.
Yeah.
She's
The
my
animated
favorite part.
sequence, I will say this right now, the animated sequence in Kill Bill Volume 1 is, I think, one of the best animated sequences ever put on film. It's so beautiful and it's not random the fact that it's like, alright, Tarantino decided to tell her backstory through animation, but oh my god, like, it's perfect. Like, anything that Tarantino puts in at least in the Kill Bill movies, it works. The music by RZA is fantastic. Oh my god.
The whole third act, and first off, the second act's like 2.5.
I call him RZA.
He doesn't want to screw it up.
Yeah, the second act is like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
But the final act,
In 1 or 2?
2.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I look at it all as one thing.
Alright. That's fair.
When she gets to Carradine's house, and she turns the corner, and there's her daughter. And then it's just time out.
We'll talk about Superman for 10 minutes.
Time out, reevaluate life. What the hell just happened?
No,
This,
I
no, get gone, and then you just have this whole sequence where it almost was completely out of character, but it's perfect.
Okay, wait, hold on. So you saw the whole bloody affair thing. So you didn't know the daughter was going to be there until that end?
Oh no, like I said, it was just spliced together because at the end of chapter 5, you're Carradine off screen say, does she know that the kid's alive?
Oh, okay. No, but I was just curious because I know the supposed official whole bloody affair would have taken that scene out where he says, "Do you know the daughter is alive?"
Yeah, but no, it didn't.
Okay, just curious.
Granted, I think it works a lot better if you take that scene out because then it just.
If you put him as one movie.
If you put it as one movie and take that scene out, it just punches you.
What scene?
When the end of Kill Bill 1, when David Carradine off screen says, "Does she know the daughter's alive?"
Yeah.
If you take that scene out and the kid just appears, your life you need to take 10 minutes to reevaluate your entire life. And
Actually, that makes a lot of fucking sense.
yeah, and I got so caught up in it that I just forgot. But it was weird because there were some things that were supposed to be in the whole bloody affair that were not supposed to be in Kill Bill 1. Like Sophie gets both of her arms cut off, which wasn't supposed to happen. And then there was an extended in Kill Bill 1. Does the anime sequence end after she shoots the guy in the car? Is that where it ends?
Yeah.
No.
No.
There was something else.
There is a scene where they explain what happened to that guy who's a pedophile. So she's, which is actually, that part's gruesome.
Yeah.
You hear like the knife, just like, oh, God, it's so nasty.
But there's and then the whole was the House of the Blue Leaves.
Yeah.
Yes.
That sequence.
Which I will say, the way that he frames that is, I think, is one of the best. I think it's probably, in terms of the camera working, I think it's one of the best camera shots I've ever seen.
It might be.
It's one of the best.
Yeah, and Lucy Liu is fantastic. Daryl Hannah
That's
is so gorgeous. The most gorgeous one-eyed woman of all time. Most gorgeous no-eyed woman of all time, actually.
It's funny because she shows up in Django for like 10 seconds.
What?
No.
Yeah,
Is she the woman on the like with the cane in the Texas town?
No, dude, she was the fucking. Remember the woman in the house at the
I'm
end?
talking about the bandana.
Yeah.
Not her.
That's not her.
No, that's the girl from Death Proof that's on the hood of the car.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
I thought that was her.
It's not there.
No, it's not her.
It's just
I kept wondering through Django who that was.
I'm
too.
sorry. Movie theory, he just came up and I just saw Kate Winslet. What?
And Hugh Jackman, Richard Gere,
What?
Harry McLovin.
There's so many people.
there's no one more developed, and in almost any movie I've ever seen than The Bride. This woman who just needs to go to the ends of the earth
Yeah.
to fix a wrong, a very big wrong.
And you're on her side the entire movie.
Oh, yeah.
You love her character so much.
It's kind of hard not to be on her side. It's
Well-
like, she thinks her daughter was killed and she was almost killed herself and in a coma for like 4
And you
years.
never really know what exactly happened in the church. They have
Yeah.
they have some cuts to it, but you never really know the
You
full.
gotta see the whole thing.
And honestly, I think it has one of the best intros ever. Where like you just hear footsteps.
Oh, yeah.
Then the film opens up with her just completely fucking bloody.
Yeah.
Walks up, you know, gives the whole thing, and then she goes, Bill, it's your daughter, you're injured. She just shot in the face. It's like, oh shit.
And then that whole end sequence with Carradine.
Yeah.
It's just.
I will say this. I think out of all this, even Django, I think this probably has, my personal opinion, the best soundtrack. Because every single song in this movie is perfect.
This is, I think, also one of, even though I don't think like if I pick like if I just listen to the songs themselves like separated from the movie, I think I would like some of the other soundtracks better. But in terms of the movies themselves, I think it's one of his better integrated.
Yeah,
ones.
It's my second favorite soundtrack behind Django.
It's just, but everything about this movie. I mean, Michael Madsen. You know, Texas Funeral.
I was almost disappointed that he wasn't in the first movie and he doesn't show up until the second one.
For me, it was all this one movie.
I'm gonna touch on that once you're done. The whole 1 movie, 2 movie thing.
There was, but in David Carradine, first that role was going to go to Costner, and Tarantino.
Thank God it did not.
Tarantino kept asking him to play it more like David Carradine, and Costner just said, "Quentin, just go call David. Just go get him. I'm not the right guy for this role. I just did." Bullet to the head reference.
Yo.
Yeah, and I love how it ends with that 5-fingered heart explosion tap technique.
Because you're so satisfied. Because honestly, like you would think that this whole big fight would be the most cliche thing ever. Because we built up these basically 4 hours for this big confrontation.
And it's like a 20-second fight.
Or if you saw it in theaters, it's 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, a year plus.
It was about half a year.
Well, either way, it was a long time to get. If you saw Kill Bill 1 and you go see 2, and it's like, you know, and then it ends. But then even when it ends, it's not over, because he still has to get up and walk.
Yeah.
And so then he's just there, and he's just dead man. He's dead man sitting. And
he just goes in his backyard and just
dies. And then one thing I love when they show the credits, when it shows the credit of Carradine as Bill, it shows his dead body, just lying there. That's Bill. That's the only way it's like he says, this is the purest of evil. This is what I want you to remember of him. I want you to remember evil as a heap. And then the bride just goes off, you know. And one thing no one had touched on, the Vivica A. Fox sequence at the beginning when she's in the pussy wagon. But we don't know why she's in that car.
I love that.
And she goes in, and then the daughter comes home. And then it's mommy's old friend, and the room's just a fucking mess, and the kid's just looking so adorable. And then she sees mommy die.
Which I will admit, that seems pretty fucking brutal.
Yeah.
She just gets the fucking knife stuck in her. It's just like,
it's a pretty mess. It's a pretty...
Very funny, bitch. Very funny.
All Tarantino movies are pretty messed up.
Although it's funny, though, because there's only one thing about the entire first, 20 minutes I didn't necessarily... Well, there's one nitpick. The part where she kicks the fucking coffee cup.
Oh, yeah.
And it just magically happens to go and distract her. And it's like, perfect time to throw a knife.
Yeah.
That's the only thing about that. Saying like, come on.
I liked, another thing was, another real funny part was, she has this whole thing going on in her head, and then she's like, but the first thing she has to do, wiggle your big toe. It goes right after this epic, dream sequence.
I love how we just said that, Alan Rickman, wiggle your big toe.
Wiggle your big toe.
Wiggle your big toe.
The largest digit on your foot.
All the
Wiggle
way.
it now. I love those movies. I love that movie.
Okay.
I'm with you, man.
Augie and I will double team this because we're probably in the same boat.
Not gonna be negative. Well, I can't be negative because I still...
Not naming names here,
No, because I still think this is a very good movie. I haven't seen Death Proof, but there isn't one Tarantino movie I don't like. I think all of his movies are at the very... I haven't seen Death Proof, or 4 Rooms. But of all the ones I've seen, I haven't seen one that was below very good. That said, the 2 Kill Bill movies are, of all the ones I've seen, actually at the bottom rung of the one.
Me too.
Mine.
Wow.
And
I'm shocked.
Other than
Blah, blah,
other than
blah,
Death-
blah,
other than
giant
Death
squid of
Proof,
anger,
because-
blah, blah,
Death
blah.
Proof is
Well, I
very
haven't,
good.
like I said, I haven't seen
That,
it.
like
Death
out,
Proof
out
is
of
a
all
watch.
out of like all the ones that are good, these are my least favorite.
Yeah.
That's like the most backhanded compliment ever.
Yeah, I know.
That's like me picking my least favorite Scorsese movie.
Yeah.
You can't.
It's like picking my favorite child.
Okay.
No, I can do that.
Holy shit.
I do not think they fit as one movie. I saw them back to back. They're two completely different styles of movies. You're going from this like fast and crazy and kinetic and like
The first one's like a real Hong Kong style action film.
it's like a Hong Kong movie like on speed.
And then the second one's like a methodical thriller.
It's a Leon spaghetti western. It's a completely different type of movie. I don't think that they fit together with those two tones. However, I do like that they're both two separate things. I did appreciate that.
Oh, I think they fit together perfectly just because they're different. Because again, you know, it's just that
if I watch them, which I did back to back, it's such a big jump in tone.
Well, it's also she's dealing with these different people, you know, and like that whole because the first one is really dedicated. Vivica Fox is dispatched with.
I'm not talking about the story. I'm talking about Tarantino.
style.
No. But no, trust me. This comes back to it.
Okay.
But it's like, you know, the first movie is dedicated mostly to Lucy Liu, in terms of villains. And to do that, you have the head of a you know, the Tokyo Mafia.
Yeah.
The Yakuza, I don't know which one it is. Triad.
Crazy 88.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, Crazy 88.
It's a made-up one.
Yeah. So, you know, in order to make that work, it has to be breakneck. You know, you don't have a. I mean,
Well,
you're not doing Kurosawa here.
Well, that plus you're introducing this fucking this killer squad of people.
Yeah.
You have to introduce it. This fucking absolutely balls to the wall type
Yeah,
of
and so then the second movie is dedicated to Madsen and Carradine, who are they're Western style, they're Leone style villains. You know, hell, it's all Madsen is almost a cartoon of one of those villains, literally living in a shack in the desert.
And
well, that comes to the thing that when you're conceiving a movie, you don't conceive it as two completely different.
Don't question Quentin Tarantino.
yeah, you don't question.
I can question.
Yeah. I can question his acting.
Okay, you can do that until the cows come home.
But yeah, if you're like I think when he was writing it and he realized that he was gonna have to split it into two movies, he took advantage of that opportunity by making two unique movies.
He's like, oh, I can make two different styles
like
of movies.
he knew he was gonna make one long story, but when he couldn't. When the Weinstein said that he should make it two movies,
Because those Weinsteins are known for their good judgment.
I think he utilized that opportunity to make two different movies. I think if he was able to write one long movie, they wouldn't have been so different.
But I look at it as he originally wrote this as a one movie.
Yeah. Well,
Now, if he originally
he wrote it as a one.
So did Once Upon a Time in America, and that was...
Well, but that was.
There's
But
a
that
3 hour.
that was always one movie though.
Yeah,
that was never
always
two
one
movies.
Yeah, but I feel like the thing is that the one movie that was I think that it debuted at Cannes, Cannes I think it was.
Yeah.
Con.
It wasn't one movie then. It was
No, it was one movie then. Yeah, when
It was never one movie.
No.
Tarantino has said...
No, the Weinsteins told him you can't make a 4-hour movie.
The Whole Bloody Affair is the one film version that debuted at Cannes.
I don't remember them ever saying that.
Alright, anyway.
But anyway, okay. I know this is going to bring it back to Jackie Brown here. It's going to bring it a little bit full circle. Okay.
Let's just move on to the bastards.
So, Jackie Brown
We get that first.
takes
No, we don't.
blaxploitation tropes, another subgenre that Tarantino loves, but he does it in a way that like
It's
it
coherent.
doesn't feel distracting. It's like blended in. If you know blaxploitation movies, you'll notice them, but they're not like in your face. Kill Bill or the first one at least, is the total opposite of that.
It's
and
constantly
in the context
your face.
in the context of that one movie, it's fine, but there's like some parts where he lays it on like really thick. Like the whole like it just feels so like cheesy and like inserted, and it doesn't feel like.
There goes the car. Oh, there you go.
Hey.
Yes.
Yeah, just
The banner.
check his room.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Runs in. Poof!
No,
Oh, $10 for you. I'll get that when I get back from the ATM. As a matter of fact, we're going to get some magic weed.
And it's like, and this is a reason why I like Volume 2 more than Volume 1, is because Volume 2 is spaghetti western, but it does it in a way where if you notice the spaghetti western things, you'll notice them, they're cool, but it's not like
It's
so
not-
like in your face
yeah.
about it too. Like I've seen a lot of kung fu samurai movies. None of them are that like, you know, I mean sure they have those elements, but they're not like
Let's
like
see
I said, I still think it's a very good movie.
let's see what y'all.
But here's
The final
but here-
fight is great. The animation sequence is great.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing about the comparison between Jackie Brown and Kill Bill. I'm sorry, but I don't. Besides a couple really good sequences in Jackie Brown, Kill Bill is for me is more enjoyable. There's a lot more better sequences, and I think as
It's a straight up action movie.
well, yeah, but still, and you have to.
You're talking about action
you gotta
movie.
give Tarantino that.
It's an action,
But
it's an action movie versus drama here. Of course, you're gonna like enjoy the action.
well, that's not true because Pulp Fiction obviously is a better movie.
Pulp Fiction also has lots of blood and killings and swearing and lots of
That's
other
not
things.
that's not
English motherfucker.
And Samuel Jackson sang motherfucker.
Which he does in every movie he's in.
Pulp Fiction is not a drama. Pulp Fiction is a black comedy.
Pulp Fiction's almost unclassifiable.
Well, yeah,
It's kind of everything.
But yeah, Volume 2, however, I think is also a very good movie, but it's a better very good movie because
It's consistent. It's not. Whenever, like, I'm gonna touch on. This is where Phase 2 of Tarantino starts for me.
yeah.
This is where the references, they really are very distracting. And this is the point where it's like, I hate in Tarantino, some of Tarantino's movies where all the characters talk like him in real life.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that really does bother me.
But if you look at those first 3 movies, all those like film references and the movies he loves, they're all like woven into it, but like it feels like definitely like his own creation. Even though Jackie Brown is Elmore Leonard, they feel like his own like
Stamp.
creations.
It's like his own
exactly.
stamp.
But it's like in Kill Bill 1, the whole sound is taken. I forget from what kung fu movie, but it's taken from one.
Your house is on fire.
The yellow.
Yeah, you gotta get out of the
The
shower.
famous yellow jumpsuit that everybody loves in Kill Bill. It's straight up. It's the same exact thing as what Bruce Lee wore.
No, that's the point of that.
Yeah.
No, but in those.
That's so.
No, but in those other Tarantino movies, the references and just like stuff.
See you again.
That's
See ya.
that's not a reference or an homage though. That's a straight up rip, like a take. Like the first 3 movies with the references, they didn't rip off. They didn't like.
Like,
take
there's
them
nothing
straight
that's
from
taken directly from
They-
something
well,
else.
You guys seem to really
Well-
like, you guys, like honestly, if I came in the room with you,
No.
you guys seem like really hate this movie.
No, I'm just.
I don't hate it. It's just.
I'm just.
I just feel like
This is
I feel
the-
like they're nitpicking.
No,
I think honestly,
No, no.
No, I am nit. Well,
I do not like the wardrobe choice for this movie. It is a terrible
Hold
motion
on.
picture.
No, hold on. I am. No,
I
am,
really like the movie.
No.
I like the movies. It's just.
No, I am nitpicking. It's just a lot of
The
nitpicking.
lighting used in the 75th minute annoyed me. I do not like this picture.
Have you ever seen a movie though where there's never anything that you thought was bad, but you just had a lot of nitpicks that you have with it? That
Dark Knight Rises.
well,
Never a Tarantino. You're wrong. Never a Tarantino movie.
yeah, no, but that's the thing. You stole me, my house was on fire. Yeah.
I don't know.
Jordan.
Yeah. I was wondering about that.
I don't know, it was yeah, Harry Potter 8. I had that.
No, yeah, it's just. But no, it's just
Well,
like.
it's funny because I actually have a lot of nitpicks for not the next one, but the movie in 2009 that's going to be coming up very, very soon. I have a lot of nitpicks.
Well,
about
I have nitpicks for those.
But that's a totally different.
I have
That's a totally different problem.
I have nitpicks for that 2009 and 2012 movie.
As it,
And I'm gonna look at that as
It's
one.
a
As
dumb movie.
I'm gonna look at that as a totally different perspective.
Yeah.
Alright.
But-
As it stands, for me, I think they're both good movies. I think 2 is a better film.
Yes. I used to dislike 2 because it was so different and slow, but as I got older, I actually like grew to like it more. The scene with the Crazy 88 fight is like the famous fight, but my favorite fight in both movies
Lucy
is
Liu, where she fights Lucy Liu.
no in Volume 2 with
Oh, in the trailer.
Daryl Hannah.
Oh,
that's
that
great.
scene's
And no,
That's
and
awesome.
it has the perfect ending because I didn't see it coming.
No.
When she just
Grabs the eye out.
pulls the eye out, I was like, yeah. when I first saw it,
And then Daryl Hannah was one of the best pieces of acting ever.
when she's like
Just
whizzing around
not
the seat.
dying, but just in this immense amount of pain.
She's like
But
a
it's over. The
falling
pain.
on the bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then she just, and then the bride just steps on me, like just for the last kick.
And the whole time there's a black mamba floating around in there somewhere.
Yeah,
And I remember the first time I saw Volume 2, I remember when they started the Superman monologue, I was like, where are they going with this? But then by the end of it, I was like, okay, that was actually really, really great. Yeah.
Big match.
So let's get Death Proof out of the way.
Go ahead.
I mean, you don't have to. You can just skip right over it if you
I'll
want.
take
Yeah,
it.
Matt can take this, because me and him probably have the same.
All right. Death Proof was Tarantino's part of Grindhouse. Him and his buddy Rodriguez got together and they decided to make a homage to
You see that? You see that with contempt, his buddy Rodriguez.
the Grindhouse. Well, Rodriguez is a shit, don't remember.
Former director of Shark Boy and Lava Girl, starring Taylor Lautner.
And George Lopez, what does that tell you?
But yeah, you did Spy Kids. I like Spy Kids.
And 2.
And one and two. One and two.
I'm glad someone also said I like it.
Spy Kids 3
haven't
never
s-
happened.
I haven't
Or
seen them.
4.
I haven't seen them since they came out.
I love
But
came out
so
this year.
Death Proof is easily his worst movie.
Oh yeah.
The homages are terrible. He has slutty prostitutes talk like Quentin Tarantino. It makes no sense. The violence is laughable, not in the Grindhouse way. It's in the way where it's like, okay, this is just schlocky filmmaking. It's garbage. Don't waste your time
Yeah,
watching it.
it's incoherent. It's just,
You know, it's
all
sad
over the
when,
place.
and I like Planet Terror. I think Planet Terror is a good. It's,
Planet Terror is really fun.
although I think the trailers are the best part of Grindhouse. It's good. Death Proof has freaking Josh Brolin in it. No, I mean Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell is actually probably the best part of the whole movie, I think.
He is.
Because he's having a lot of fun, you can see, and just, he's such an evil motherfucker in that movie. He's just, like, not like, obviously he's not like, you know, any of the other Tarantino villains that he's ever made, but he's pretty fucking evil in Death Proof.
You know, he's almost in Django.
He was.
Yeah, him and Kevin Costner were, and Sacha Baron Cohen.
I forget what characters they almost.
Oh,
picked.
they melted them into the Walter Goggins character.
That's true. That's right. Yeah.
But
Walton Goggins, best actor ever.
Big crash.
so let's move on to Inglourious Basterds. Alex, you can take this one.
You
Alright.
all own a personal debit.
All right.
To me.
Now, when I first saw Inglourious Basterds in 2009, I actually saw it opening day with my dad. And first time I saw it, I loved it. Loved everything about it. I think it was stylistic. It was well filmed for the most part. And then Christoph Waltz, jeez, what a fucking performance.
Hans Landa is my.
One of my favorite villains, I
He
think,
was
of the
a
last
revelation.
Hans Landa
20 years.
is my #1 favorite Tarantino character.
He's such a fucking
He's my number
great
2.
villain.
My number 1 hasn't happened yet, but
But
Wait. Oh.
where
Yeah, you do this in a future movie.
it's not that I don't love Inglourious Basterds, I do. But it's got a lot of inconsistencies and a lot of fucking problems with it. First off, this is probably the biggest problem with the whole
I feel
movie.
like you might be saying the same things I do, but go ahead.
One of the biggest problems with the movie is that the movie is literally called Inglourious
I
Basterds.
don't hold that against the movie.
yeah, because they're part of the main plot.
I got over that.
See, but here's the thing though. It's so inconsistent that, like, alright, personally, yes, I understand what Tarantino was going for, where he was having multiple storylines, you know, the Inglourious Basterds isn't all about the Inglourious Basterds. I totally understand that. But at the same time, it's like, how am I supposed to give a shit about any of these characters if we're not going to put any development into them?
I will say one thing about them though. It wasn't that they weren't the main characters, which the first trailer made it look like it. Which I got over that because I read like reviews beforehand, so I knew they weren't going to be the main characters. I think it is a little odd. It doesn't kill the movie, but it is like odd. Is jumping back and forth from the serious Shoshana sections to the kill all the Nazis, like, you know, bear Jews, bash your heads in, like,
It's a pretty fucking big jump.
Speaking of bear Jew, Tarantino couldn't cast himself in the movie, so he got his other friend, who's an equally shitty actor, Eli Roth.
Eli Roth is terrible.
With one of the worst Boston accents
You know what's funny?
ever.
He's from Massachusetts.
Still.
Yeah.
You know who was Tarantino wrote that part for?
Himself.
No. There's another famous Jewish actor who you hate.
Mel Gibson? No, wait, no, he's not Jewish.
Comedy.
Watch yourself. Adam Sandler?
Yes.
What?
He wrote that part.
Oh my god.
He wrote that part for Adam Sandler.
I'm gonna hit you with a baseball bat. Okay, ready? Here we go. 1, 2. Oh, you're a dead man.
Where'd you get that nigga from? Really?
You know what though? I think he still would have been better than Eli Roth.
Yeah.
He still would have been better than Eli Roth though. I think.
Yeah, Eli Roth is terrible.
It's like you have all these other great actors, like Brad Pitt, talking about the other great character actors in The Bastards.
Michael Fassbender, for God's sake.
Well, yeah, and then
Michael Fassbender's awesome.
he joins them.
Sergeant Hipko.
He is so cool. in this
Mike
movie.
Myers.
Mike
in a row.
Myers!
Mike. I didn't recognize
With
him.
his Austin Powers accent.
He's got
Yeah.
to play Scottish and everything.
I love this movie. I think it's because as a Jew.
Well,
Obviously.
Yes.
there we go.
When I first saw, I went with my friend Matt, who I see a lot. I've been going to movies since we were in the 6th
Everything
grade.
is explained.
We've been going to movies since we were in the 6th grade.
Everything makes sense.
In the theater, when I was in the movie theater, when we were watching the end of the theater sequence in the movie, when Eli Roth and
The other guy.
the other guy charge into the box and just light up everyone in Hitler's box,
Yeah.
I was literally laughing maniacally.
Yeah.
Literally, this is how it should have been.
I will say, I think next to maybe, I don't know.
Now, at the same time,
I think it has gotten, probably the most cheers in a theater I've ever been in. Just, oh my god.
now,
Cheers.
yeah. Now, at the same time, that scene took my father instantly out of the movie. He was a big World War II buff, and he couldn't get over.
That they killed
They
Hitler.
just killed. Okay, that did.
It was-
What?
It was dead, yeah. It was dead.
You just turned into Michael Cera right there.
Oh.
Well, to be fair, not only did they kill him, they turn his face into a fucking, like,
Puddle.
hamburger.
Yeah.
It looks like hamburger.
I will say that is a great scene though. That whole scene, real fire. There was just a tremendous.
Yeah, I will say that entire sequence is amazing.
Yeah, but you know, in a weird way, hear me out for a second. The Bastards operate in the same role that the Penguins do in Madagascar. They really, I know. I
That's
was
a
going to
very
get
good
that's
comparison.
interesting.
That's very.
Well, think about that. They have all the one-liners. They have all the scenes everyone remembers. But the real story of the movie, Madagascar, the real story is Chris Rock's
Yeah.
Zebra.
I love
Where's-
that we're
I like how we're comparing Madagascar to Inglourious Basterds.
It works! And the story here is
So
Shoshana.
far, twerking, yes.
And the story really in the movie is Shoshana. But at the same time, Tarantino's kind of like, I need to make this a Tarantino movie. As opposed to just a little European period character study. So
we're gonna make
you all owe me 100 Nazi scalps. And I want my scalps.
Yeah.
And we need to have Tarantino give an blaxploitation intro to one of the side characters that's only in it for 5 minutes.
Okay, but that was awesome. Something like that.
Voiced by Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah. And then don't forget, Harvey Keitel's in it. He's got a part in
He's
it.
in the radio announcer?
Yeah, he's a radio guy. But I love from the German army, Hugo Stiglitz. All of a sudden, bow now.
I mean,
But that
I
takes me
like-
out of the movie.
I liked it. I mean, I really do like it.
Yeah.
That's one of those things for me
Like,
that it only works in a Tarantino movie.
That segues into my problem with this movie. It feels like I'm watching segments from different movies.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's probably my
it's
biggest
not.
problem.
It's not like Pulp Fiction where it's like everything like interlocks.
Like the framing device is not really. It's not as focused as it should be.
I know, I can see that. But, you know, I guess I'm just a big Tarantino mark where it's just, I just kind of like, I just defer to him totally and just be like, you know what? Kick my feet up and say, I just don't care what you do. It's going to entertain me.
I mean,
But I definitely understand that, you know, when you hear Billy Preston Slaughter come in, you know, I mean,
Speaking of songs, the most inconsistent, I think, of his soundtracks.
Yeah, this soundtrack is
yeah, this is really
one's all over
yeah.
the map.
Some of them work really well, and some of them are just.
Well, you should have just let that, Inicio, I forget that name.
And then there are more Conan.
You should just let him score the fucking movie.
Yeah, this was perfect for him.
That, it would have been
This
perfect.
was a perfect.
Like,
you
it
know,
would have got,
yeah.
I think it would have given his Oscar, honestly.
Yeah, well, it's like, you know, it really does take you out of the movie when you hear this.
Yeah.
No, that and then the Bowie song.
Sorry.
That and the Bowie song are like the big distractors.
Oh, cat people.
Yeah,
Yeah, cat people.
really? But it's like, okay, on the other hand though, everything with Shoshana is excellent, everything with Hans Landa is
Perfect.
platinum shined
I mean,
gold.
I think my favorite scene is with Fassbender in the bar.
Oh, I've seen.
Okay,
They got the two guns
I
pointing
really-
at their balls.
I think that's also a great scene.
I'll
I
treat this into Nazi balls.
I think he drags the suspense a little bit too long in that part. I would say my favorite scene is the first scene.
Once upon a time in Nazi occupied France, which is what he wanted to call the whole movie.
With the
Land at the farm.
yeah, and then the rap monologue.
Which is one of my favorite, I think the funniest scenes that no one laughed at. When it's just, can I take out my pipe? Yes, and he just goes really quickly.
No, I laughed. Don't worry, I laughed. At
Yeah, it's how quickly he's out of his pocket. There it is.
It's just like,
So obnoxious.
And then you kind of ask yourself, how was he never not in? How did he not exist in the Tarantino verse before?
I would say this. Being in the theater in the first 10 minutes of that movie, I was like, I'm looking around, I'm looking
is
at
this
my
guy?
dad, I'm like, holy shit.
Who is this guy?
Yeah, because
It's like, who
Waltz
is
came
this
out
guy?
of nowhere.
Oh my god.
Originally supposed to be Leonardo DiCaprio, by the way.
I can't picture Leo Cap in that role at all.
Yeah, it's because you hate DiCaprio.
It's not that I hate DiCaprio.
No, you do. Because I know Django, you did not like him at all in that.
No, it's not that. It's not. I thought he was very good, but I thought they could have done better.
Whoa.
no.
He did. He had an A minus. He did an
All right,
A
let's go
minus
to
job.
Django.
Wait,
Okay, I had a segue from Bastards
Go
into
ahead.
Django, but I lost it.
Alright. Best way to describe Inglourious Basterds is just being all over the place. Remember the scene where Shoshana meets the lady? And they're at the table, like, when Hans eventually goes in.
Oh, and it shows them fucking.
Yeah. What the fuck is up with that scene?
Yeah, I knew you were gonna reference that.
It was
at
just
the table with Goebbels, and Goebbels'
goes
wife.
home, and she goes, and it just cuts to, it cuts to her man, he just goes,
They're like fucking your doggy.
It's so fucking rude.
I don't remember that.
I will say, I love
I'll look
the
for it.
ending to this movie. When
I'll be honest.
when they shoot the driver.
Yeah. They'll search you for this. Nah, they'll chew me out. I'll be chewed out before.
I'm gonna give you something you can't take off.
I'll be honest. I despise the last line of this movie.
Yeah, it's so pretentious.
Yeah.
The endings of his movies almost always suck, with the exception of Dogs.
Django has a great ending.
I'll get to that in a second. I think it should have been cut 1 minute short.
I think the Kill Bill rant's nothing compared to Django.
But it's like I think his best last line ever is, "We should be going." Yeah.
I think we should go. Yeah,
Yeah,
probably
we
a
should
good
go.
idea.
Yeah, that's just perfect to end that movie. But the Bastards, even when I was so into the movie and the last line
That
of the
took
movie,
me out.
it took me out. That last line, it was like the end of the BFG main event. I'm like, oh.
Self-congratulating himself
Yeah.
for it.
I will say though, there was a pretty good piece of makeup when they actually showed him getting cut in the head, and it actually really looks like they're cutting his head. Like that was really good.
Oh, I just remembered my segue. The whole Samuel L. Jackson random narration with blaxploitation
Effects.
font
Yeah.
that comes up. That would have fit much better in his next movie. With that.
I mean,
It's almost like he had Django on the brain as
Yeah,
he
and
was
he was
writing
like-
Inglourious Basterds, and he let some of that Django juice slip into
Yeah,
his
yeah,
nostrils.
I fucking
All right,
I love this movie.
I've taken this
I'm
rant.
so wait, hold on. I'm so glad they used the original Django theme song from the movie.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, by the way, I was hoping Rick Ross might be nominated, just so I could say, by the time Rick Ross was nominated for an Oscar, that would have been a life moment. Okay, now we're gonna argue.
Go ahead.
All right, Django. I seriously thought about this long and hard. This is my favorite Tarantino movie other than Pulp Fiction.
This is my third favorite.
I saw this 5 times in the movie theater. I saw it 5 times in a movie theater, and
I saw it twice on Christmas Day, motherfucker.
I saw two.
I've never.
I saw this movie, a 2-hour, 45-minute movie, twice in a 10-hour span.
I did Les Mis, Django, and Zero Dark 30 back to back.
I didn't want to go the second time. I got dragged to it. It's great.
So,
Yeah, I have a tie for a second with Pulp. I can't differentiate the two, but
I said it's the
Kill
best
Bill
one
as
other than Pulp Fiction.
well. I got Kill Bill as one. I saw Kill Bill as one, and I love this movie. I was waiting 15 months for this movie. Once I read the draft script of it, there's a lot of changes out of it, which some were good.
If they kept that opening, my god!
Did you all read the draft script?
I didn't read
the one that had Scott Carmody in it?
No.
There's a character.
No.
I'd rather experience the movie.
Alright, so.
But okay. I can email you guys.
I didn't read the script.
I can email you guys. No, because it's a draft and it's different. There was a scene in it that really would have helped establish DiCaprio's character if they had kept it.
But I love his
I
introduction.
think I heard what scene you're talking about.
Alright, here's why. This is.
But DiCaprio, what a fucking idiot that character is. He plays it very well. God's a guy fucking idiot.
And incestuous?
Yeah, that's a question a lot of us are asking. Was he fucking his sister?
He definitely was.
Yeah, I think so.
He definitely was.
And if you think about it, that whole sequence is like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And it's like 30 seconds. Where is my beautiful sister? She comes out, he gives her those 2 kisses, and and then she's basically done for the movie until she gets shot.
That was the funniest part.
But
Tarantino didn't even try to make that one look real. Didn't even try.
here's why I love this movie so much. Out of all his Phase 2 movies, which is Kill Bill on, this is the only one for me where all the references work. Where it's not overbearing, and I never get taken out of the movie.
Yeah.
Even the Rick Ross song, which could have been laughably horrible, it fits with the movie.
Or even when you hear Tupac. When you hear Tupac and it just...
I heard Tupac, I was like, yeah!
And it's just... That's one of the great shootouts of all time.
Tupac, great choice. I thought the Rick Ross part was the weakest song with implementation in the movie. Because it just comes out of nowhere. Like
an RKO.
And it doesn't really...
It does it so well.
It's so perfect.
Not really. It just...
I think it's perfect.
He just needed a spot for another song and he just put it in there.
Well, if it was like...
Well, that's not true, though. Because he took the Frank...
Yeah, he cut the Frank Ocean song.
He took the Frank Ocean
And by the way, I've heard the Frank Ocean song. It's beautiful.
No, but,
it has no place in this movie.
But for some reason... all the other songs, except for the Rick Ross song, seem to, for some reason, fit in that anachronistic.
I'm telling you,
I was never taken out of the movie because of the music.
I was shocked at John Legend's song.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I'm shocked that didn't get nominated for an Oscar.
Which one was that?
It goes, I'm a vigilante.
Yeah, I like that one.
Hold on a second.
That's probably
a second. I'll hit you up with some John Legend right now.
Who did that to you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, the Kings. Yeah, that wasn't.
That's actually one of my favorite
Now,
songs.
the other reason why I love this movie is because I think this might be the best. I think this is my favorite trio of lead performances in a Tarantino movie, other than Pulp Fiction.
Okay. Should I just get my Tarantino thing out now? Just get it over with.
Say it.
I think with Tarantino. When I read the script with my mother, and we're both.
With your mother.
Oh no! My mom was in the movie business for 15 years, so we watched. I sat down and we're both big Tarantino fans. And when we heard that DiCaprio was cast as Candy, we both scratched our head. We were kind of like, because we both read it, we both thought, we both thought of this big swagger type. Like if you look at all of his characters, DiCaprio, they're either brooding or cool, and and he's really good at it. I mean, he's really good. Catch If You Can, Titanic. I haven't seen Titanic, but I know he's good at it.
Days of New York, Departed. Basketball Diaries.
He's very good, but it's not. I pictured the guy we thought would be perfect for this role would be Alec Baldwin.
No,
we thought he would have been.
Because Alec Baldwin, he's too obnoxious.
And
I think he could play perfectly. And we said Alec Baldwin or John Goodman.
John Goodman, yes.
Yeah,
Alec Baldwin, no.
Also, John Goodman could be in every movie, and it would be better.
Yeah, we need more John Goodman.
Yeah, but it was just. Also, my whole problem is the way his character is not DiCaprio's acting, but the character itself is that he's barely in the movie. I mean, he's your A villain, and he's barely in the movie because there were 2 scenes.
He's in the movie a lot.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Well, if you think about it, the whole first act is not that.
Yeah, but that's to establish the build up to
but
that.
Still, there's a scene in the draft.
He dominates the second half of the movie.
He doesn't dominate the second half. He's dead with 35 minutes to go.
He dominates the second.
He makes Walt's character look like a fucking tiny, incident.
I think Waltz is fucking fantastic.
He is, but I'm just saying, Waltz owns the first part. DiCaprio owns the second part.
And Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx seals the deal.
Okay, I can understand that, but there was a scene in the draft script. There was this character I'm sorry, this is way off topic, but it makes sense. His name was Scott Carmody, who was supposed to be played by Jonah Hill, who was this nebbishy guy in New Orleans whose father bought Broomhilda.
Wait, no, that's Sacha Baron Cohen's character.
Oh, supposed to be Baron Cohen? I heard Jonah Hill was supposed to be cast
No,
that.
it was Sacha Baron.
But
Jonah Hill is in the movie.
yeah, well then he dropped out, so they cut the character.
Which is the funniest scene in the movie.
That scene is
I almost fell out of my chair and I was laughing so hard.
Not naming names. I'm just saying that the bags could have been done better. But back to Scott Carmody. He's this nebbishy guy in New Orleans, and his father buys Broomhilda to have a lady friend for him. And then there's this whole sequence. It's like towards like 15 pages. It's a sizable sequence where they build their relationship and everything, and then they're like a couple. They're breaking the bonds of the antebellum South interracially, and then he gets caught up in a card game in New Orleans with this cool customer, Calvin Candy, and Candy being not as dumb yet as he winds up being in the actual movie. He gets Carmody to bid to throw down Broomhilda's rights in a card game, and Candy wins. And in cold blood, he just straight up kills Carmody. And there's a short chase through New Orleans, and it ends with Broomhilda on the mud, and him just smiling over her. And with those eyebrows and those ugly teeth, he has a very good evil smile in this movie. And he just says,
I will say, DiCaprio deserves the utmost respect because this is the first time in his whole career he has not played the lead since Titanic.
That's true, actually.
But
and the only time he's played a villain, I think.
For me, this is.
Well, he did play villain. He played villain in Man in the Iron Mask.
Yeah, but that was shit.
Who remembers that movie?
Yeah. What?
Who remembers that movie?
Nobody. I'm just saying.
But
I mean,
I think I love his introduction because they make it ambiguous. Because they make him come off as this really charming, smart guy.
Idiot. Well, they could have, but if you're smart,
Okay,
if you're smart, he knows he's an idiot.
Please extrapolate on the idiot.
Okay,
which you
look.
keep saying.
Well, look. He fancies himself as this high-end sophisticate.
Yes.
You walk into the Cleopatra Club. There is a head of Nefertiti right there.
Yes.
Then he walks up, and they're walking up the stairs, and there's that whole thing back and forth between Mogi and Waltz. Oh, he fancies a little Francophile. Oh, what classy gentleman is it? And then came to us and prefer. And then the music cuts out. Oh, don't speak French. He doesn't speak French. It'll embarrass him. And it's just establishes him as just this phony idiot who's trying to look better than he is.
No,
Yeah.
The point is to show that he thinks he's above everyone else because he's this guy.
He thinks he's bigger than he is.
But that doesn't make him necessarily idiotic. Idiotic implies that he's stupid.
No, he's not stupid, but it's just he thinks he's a lot smarter than he really is.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily make him idiotic.
But he's
boisterous. He has an ego. He calls this place Candyland.
That scene.
Hey guys, I smell preconceived notions.
I have no preconceived notions.
Let me finish my.
You had a picture of the script when you saw the movie.
Because
John Goodman would have been purring that fucking role. I'm just saying. Fat Southern plantation owner. Kind of a
we got
cliche.
Don Johnson, which was fantastic.
Okay, he was awesome.
Oh my god,
That was great.
Oh,
It was great.
I laughed so hard when he's like, "Sugar baby." You mean treat him like a freeman? No, treat him like a white man.
No, I didn't say that.
I didn't say that.
What's the name of that Peckwood boy? Jerry. That's it then. Treat him like you would treat Jerry. And I'm like, not watching. You're just gonna get a lot of roles out of it.
And also,
this was great.
Django is a movie where all the cameos work for me. I never get distracted. I mean,
The Franco Nero cameo was
DJANGO.
So
The D is silent.
the D is.
I know.
I know. No, when he says the I know, I was like,
I didn't get it at first. I'm like, oh wait, that's the original Django.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. I like that.
The violence, I think, it's not like Kill Bill for me where I don't cringe, but I feel it. With the exception of one part in the shootout, I think all the violence is fantastic.
Oh no, the dogs.
Well,
D'Artagnan.
the dogs is fine for me because they cut away a lot.
Still.
well, hold on, actually.
D'Artagnan, motherfucker! It is a plot hole when he's shooting up the house, Stone Cypher's house. It's a huge plot hole right there.
What I love
Well, not
is,
huge, but small.
well, this one definitely has those Tarantino-isms sprinkled around, like the soundtrack, the opening credits and stuff. The way he treats the violence in this is what, well, apart from a character we'll talk about later, which I hope we talk about later, this is one of the reasons why this pushes it above Inglourious Basterds for me, is the way he treats the violence, because
What do you mean?
if you notice, every time the heroes are killing somebody, it's like you're like, yeah, blood shooting everywhere. You're like, yeah, kill him. But every time, like, the slaves or whatever are being like whipped or attacked, it's really like it.
You feel it.
I don't want to say restraining because it's not a word you say for Tarantino, but like. If you know the dog scene, you don't actually see the guy get ripped apart by the dogs until Schultz has little quick flashes later. And when the Mandingos fight, when they're bleeding and stuff.
But you never directly see it when he breaks the arm or when he gets gouged out.
Candy throws him the hammer and goes finish him. Yeah, but they don't.
When he brings the hammer down, you don't. He brings the hammer down. Thor was in this movie. You don't actually see when he kills the guy with the hammer. Oh, you were talking about the hammer scene from the script before. Is that the same one, Mike? You said there was this hammer scene in the script. Is that the same one you were talking about? Or is that like a...
No, the hammer that was in it was from the production stills. Yeah. That turned out being the scene with Uncle with the skull Ben.
Oh, okay.
Which I'm gonna say that scene right there is why DiCaprio should have been nominated for an Oscar.
Yes. That is a fantastic scene.
I was on the edge of my seat. I was actually scared for those two guys. He freaking breaks his hand on glass.
And he drew blood for his craft.
Yeah. On Kerry Washington's face.
Yeah, and that too. And Kerry Washington was like, ah! It's like...
and I want to say, that could have been so cartoonish. And it was not.
I will, speaking of cartoonish,
oh god.
No, I think the big grand shootout is very entertaining, and I love when the Tupac song came on.
When he keeps shooting Walter Goggins in the leg.
Well, it's not Walter Goggins, the other character.
That's right.
I did think he tried to have his cake and eat it too with the blood in that final shootout. I know the rest of the movie when they were shooting the bad guys was really bloody, but this one took it to it was like a loony. It was like the Kill Bill animated sequence if it was live action, and it felt.
Yeah. Well, I watched it. I watched it last night. 2 nights ago. I counted 22 bodies in that.
Yeah.
And one of them is the guy who gets shot like 15 times and he doesn't die.
In the leg.
Yeah.
It just felt a bit much, In a Tarantino movie, we're saying violence a bit much, but it's like it just seemed a little too over the top, even for the movie it was.
I will say, Waltz was great. DiCaprio does have that fantastic scene with the glass and the skull and the. It's been let you come a lot of way, spend a lot of bull. That's what I always says.
Why are we not talking about the most interesting character in the movie?
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes.
There was a great scene that they cut out that I'm so pissed they cut out.
This is the Sam Jackson I like, where he's not a caricature of himself.
Well,
even though he says motherfucker and nigger every other word.
No, he is playing it up.
I will say though.
Of himself, I should say.
There is a scene though when they're in the library and it shows how equal. And so Steven really is the one that pulls the strings there. Steven, I think, really is the guy.
You're welcome, Steven.
Thank you, Steven. Thank you, Steven.
I hated Steven more than Candy.
That's why he's the last to go.
Because I'm such a huge DiCaprio fan to where it's like I can't hate him.
No, but it's like
Steven's just.
No, but the things that elevates this. The thing that elevates this movie above Bastards and even Kill Bill is this thing that's never explicitly said, but just the way that Tarantino directs all those scenes and the way that Jackson plays them, you just get this sense that
because nobody calls me that.
Steven hates Django because
he
feels threatened that there's another black man in power around him, and it's like he feels the need to lash out and do it.
If you think about it,
I thought that was the most compelling thing.
Up until think about it, they only have. I think Django directly only says, 10 words to him. When he's on the horse and he walks him, and Steven's like, what's that? Who is this? Hey, Snowball. If you want my name, just ask me. And right then there, you just see that. That's all you need to say is that these boys want to kill each other now. And then he doesn't say,
I count 6 shots, nigger.
I count 2 guns, nigger. There's nothing else, that's it. Or when they said, I give up. There's nothing said. There was a scene in the draft where it's Django's in his room in the big house, and Steven comes up, and Django just brutalizes him because Steven has to listen to him. He kicks his cane out, get up. And he takes a picture of water, and he throws it in his face and fill that back up. And looking at I really love that.
Fucking tense.
You just feel the tension. I can see why it's not there because you say in a way you say a lot more with less in this case. Yeah. But to have that in there and to see it, because the whole time Steven just wants to take his cane and just shove it down Django's throat. But then again, it makes Steven look sympathetic in that scene. You can't have that.
Yeah. Well, I will say this movie ends on, I think, a perfect note. Django, your mom!
You uppity son of a...
best explosions I've seen in the film.
And it's
very,
not
very long time.
like
I love Trinity to Totally, the credits song.
Yep.
you made it.
But my thing with the ending of the movie is that I timed it. It should have been cut 64 seconds short.
Where should it have been cut?
When it shows Kerry Washington smiling, that warm smile, her man is back, and then it's from Django from behind in slow motion with the smoke just everywhere. It should have just faded to black right there. That whole thing with Big Trouble in Little China, and then the things with the horses, like, they're cool. It's cool that Jamie Foxx can do that too with a horse. I think it's pretty awesome. It just looks like it should be.
Well, that was the tip of the hat to Waltz's character.
I forgot, was he doing the horse?
He does a few tricks with the horse.
Oh, okay.
Spins in a circle.
Yeah.
But it just seems out of place right there. It's just, because once the building's blown up, he's done. And as he walks away back to his woman, he has everything. They're dead. He has her. He has everything.
He's got the money.
Yeah, he's got the money. It should just ended right there. But
as it stands, though, I
Could have used a few less Australians in the movie, too.
who the fuck is Smitty McCall? I
I
think Tarantino blows himself up just to appease the fans and hate his
That was
acting.
the only reason I somewhat forgave him for being in
Oh, that was so funny though.
Because he gives us the best death scene.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Like I burst out laughing.
You know what scene I was laughing a lot on? The opening scene with the Speck brothers.
Yeah.
Stop talking. It's like he gives it. Looks like he just gives him his right. Can you just hold this, please?
Now, gentlemen, you have two options.
You can pick up the living speck, toss him on your shoulder, and walk him back to the town. Which is
about
57 miles.
57
miles that way.
Or
you can take his key, unshackle yourselves, put the bullet in his head, and go to a more enlightened part of this country.
No.
And for you astronomy aficionados, the North Star
It's not.
is.
It's
And I love what he does with his hand. He spins. The North Star is that way.
No,
Now hold on a second, boys. Hold on, Blueberry. I gave you my last apple, didn't I?
oh my.
now you can get the marshal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get to the sheriff, not the marshal.
Well, I will say this makes me want. I wish I discovered Waltz earlier because I wish he got into movies more recently, bastards, because he's getting old.
He was in German movies. We just
Yeah,
didn't
but-
see them.
And I want Tarantino to keep using him.
Oh, he was so good. I think he has the funniest line of the whole movie. Right after Django goes Rambo on the Brittle Brothers, and he comes flying in on the horse. He jumps off the horse.
Who are they?
Yeah. Who are they? It's like, who the fuck do you think they are?
Are you sure that's him?
Are you-
Positive? I don't know what positive means. It means you're sure.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, what? Yes, I'm sure that's Ellis Brittle.
Wait, the funniest part is the bags.
I'm positive he did.
Yeah, bags.
Anybody? All right.
Don't ask me a mod for nothing.
You can go fuck yourself.
Okay, hold on a second. Are we still using the bags?
Wait.
Yeah, man, I can't see shit.
Rob, can you see? All right. I mean, when we're riding down, I can't
I
see
guess
nothing.
you see.
Well, shit, fuck. I can't see.
Wait a minute. This is okay. Hold on a second. Not naming names. I'll say the bags. Give it that bag. I said we don't do the bags, but next time we go full regalia.
What the hell's the point wearing the bags if you can't see shit?
Yeah. I can't see. You can see. All the bags the fucking horse can see. This is a raid, damn it.
Well, you need the fucking horse to be able to see.
It shows Tarantino's contempt for Southerners.
Later, boys.
Yeah, see you again.
Good seeing you guys again.
So, to kind of, I think
Tarantino's.
What?
Make sure everybody comes to the social at Clam Jammers.
Yeah.
February 15th.
Okay.
I'll let other people
All right.
know.
Friday,
All right.
February.
I will.
Friday, February
Yeah,
15th.
I promise.
Alright.
All right. See ya.
What's the sorority? What's the sorority?
The boss.
yeah, it's just a.
Oh.
Oh wow, actually.
So, to real quick, rank the Tarantino movies for me. I'd go Pulp.
All.
I'm reading rainbows.
All right.
Sorry, I had to do that. I'm sorry.
On that note, we're gonna take a little sabbatical and come back with. I think this is the topic I'm waiting for. Best of 2012.
This is good.
More so for
All
like.
the Chris Evans movies.